Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I'm going to give you a kind of a brief update of where we are with our debris removal at this point in time. But before I do that, I wanted to kind of go over, the rules for private property debris removal and what gives us the right to go in there during a declared disaster. The debris, it must be disaster specific, quite naturally, and we also must have an ordinance demonstrating the legal authority. And the most important part here that is required by FEMA is that all right of entry agreements must be in place at the time of storm is in place, declared. If you don't have your right of entry agreements in place, then that debris in a private subdivision is going to be declared ineligible. And you won't, and so we can't go in there and pick that debris up if we don't have right of entry agreements in place at the beginning. So Director Jones did a great job in making sure last year that we had we have 26 private right of entry agreements in place right now. And we are, as you're aware, we provide dry trash service on private roads and in gated communities, and that's governed by our solid waste management practice and procedures in our ordinance. We provide dry trash service to all single-family residential homes in the unincorporated county to include weekly yard waste and monthly bulk waste. We also have a provision in our ordinance for post-storm and disaster recovery cleanup. And Chapter 21-405 includes provision for curbside collections by the county on privately owned streets. And as you're aware, we also pay the single-family homes in Chatham County pay the $85 dry trash fee, which includes private and gated communities.
He's not getting it to move, Ron.
Use the mouse.
Mouse.
Mike.
It's not moving at all. Now it's moving.
Okay.
All right. So this here that you see on the screen now is a picture of our Bush Road site. That's where we have one of our debris sites. That's another aerial view of our Bush Road location of where we're processing our debris that we're taking. And that's another picture of Bush Road as well. This is Sally Mood debris management site. That's an aerial view. We've collected a lot of debris. There's a lot of debris out there that we've collected, and we still have a lot more that's in the right of way that we still need to collect. But we're doing a good job in getting this debris. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. It may not be a great question, but just a thought. So I suppose none of these lumber companies or anybody ever come in here and retrieve. I mean, because I've seen pieces of huge trees, and I guess they don't come and want any of this?
No, ma'am. We haven't had anybody to come and ask us
That's a shame.
for any of that
because
debris.
That's a lot of wood.
Yeah, but yeah, that's probably what would have to happen. Individual will probably have to come and get it for their fireplace, but remember this now, in the industry, if that tree, if it snaps or if it's cut and if it breaks in a certain way, it talks about, what they talked to me about was it interrupts the grain of the wood, and it can't be used for certain things because of the grain of the wood being interrupted. All right, that's the best way I can explain it.
I understand. That's why I said it might not be a very good question, but it just seems sad that some of that can't be reused. That's all.
There's a lot of debris out there.
We'll cut you up and get it in there.
That's another picture.
I'm thinking about anywhere. I mean, that we could get some relief and somebody could use some of that. I mean, if you look at that picture, That's a lot of wood.
All right, go ahead.
And that's another picture here of Sally Mood. You see the truck there with the trailer attached to it, just to show you how much yard waste is out there. So it's significant.
A lot of mine's in there.
So what we're looking at now, as far as the estimate time of completion, the initial estimate was 500,000 cubic yards, but I asked them last week to give me a revised estimate, and they came up with 385,000 cubic yards of debris that needs to be removed from the right-of-way. To date, we've moved approximately 106,075 cubic yards of debris so far we've removed from the right-of-way. That's approximately 28% of the total estimated debris of the 385,000. They gave us an estimated completion date of December the 20th, but that's subject to change. So this here is just a little chart to show you how much we've collected, which is 106,675, and that's only 28%. So the uncollected remains is about 72%, about 325 cubic yards of debris remaining. That's through yesterday. Yes, through Wednesday? Through Wednesday? Yeah, that's through, this is through Wednesday. So there's been, we're on like the 27th or 28th day, because this was done on Wednesday, of debris cleanup, and we have, based on the time frame of 90 days, we have about 64 days remaining to make the 90-day threshold. And finally, all the municipalities are actively engaged in debris management operations throughout Chatham County as a whole. All municipalities have activated various debris contractors. I know our contractor is operating and helping out other municipalities in our local area as well. So our debris contractors, they're working 7 days a week, 10 to 12-hour days every day. So they are out there and they are engaged. And additionally, we have our public works staff who every day we're out there, we're doing regular route pickup in addition to what the debris contractor is doing. So we're out there, we're engaged, and we're doing everything that we can to pick up the debris that's out there. And at this time, I'll defer back to Director Jones. If I don't have any questions, there's no questions.
Questions from? All right, good. Come on.
So to further emphasize Director Wright's report, all of his information is specific to unincorporated county. I'd like to provide you some information about the remainder of the county. So he had mentioned that debris operations was happening in all municipalities, and that is the case. However, you will see currently in Bloomingdale, Tybee Island, and Vernonburg, they have stopped all of their debris operations. They handle all of their debris internally with their own public works crews. But right now, Garden City, Pooler, Port Wentworth, Savannah, Thunderbolt, and of course unincorporated, we are still continuing with debris operations. I also wanted to give you an idea about how this compared to Hurricane Matthew from 2016. So you'll see the volumes there on the right-hand side. In the unincorporated, we are estimating right now 385,000 cubic yards, whereas Matthew, we had a 755,000 cubic yards of debris collected. So overall, the total throughout the county, again, I don't have numbers for Bloomingdale, Tybee, and Vernonburg because those were such a small amount, they handled those internally. But roughly 720,000 cubic yards throughout the county versus Matthew was 1.278. So just wanted to give you a little bit of insight as to that. Also, to kind of reiterate the volume that we're talking about, for unincorporated county, 385,000 cubic yards is roughly about 29,615 truckloads. So think of your standard dump truck, and 29,615 of those carrying debris. Versus all of county, 720,000 is roughly about 385 dump truck loads full of debris. That's going somewhere in Chatham County. So it is significant.